The Perth Bears will be entering the competition in 2027. Coach Mal Meninga, first two signings, Toby Sexton, Sex on legs, and Harry Hello Newman. And the man behind the building of the NRL's 18th team is on the line for the first time. Perth Bears General Manager David Sharpe, welcome to the run home.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Going good, David. Mate, thanks for joining us. It must be very exciting for you guys right now.
Yeah, mate, it's an exciting time, with particularly as we start to sign players and kick off. But just want to get there now. We want to race through and get to 2027 and play.
Brian's always had this saying, David, that before we go forward, we must go back, Brian.
Yes, I do like saying that.
So you'd love to know the background of...
Well, we just had a look at his CV.
Yeah, what have you got there for us?
Quite interesting. 30-year career with the Australian Federal Police. It was a role to the Assistant Commissioner, detective from 98 to 2003, law enforcement advisor to the Vietnamese and Laos government. Oh, he's done it all.
He's done it all.
David, how did you end up leaving the Federal Police now to be GM of the Perth Bears?
Yeah, long story, I guess. I've had a pretty good career. Very lucky to have the Raiders brought me over as a junior in the early days. Footy sort of ruled everything, and AFP took me on. Went back as the footy manager for a couple of years at the Raiders and an assistant coach under Mal. And when the government reached out a few years ago to build the new Sport Integrity Australia Agency for Australia, went and did that. And then when I finished up, Mal said, "Come and join me in the Australian team." It's an offer you can't refuse when an immortal gives you a call.
Absolutely. Sorry. So you are the Cultural and Welfare Officer of the Kangaroos. I feel that Gordon Tallis has pinched your role.
The attaché.
Is that true?
Yeah, and Gordy will do it justice probably a lot better than I will.
Oh,
too.
No way. Unless you just drink and tell long-winded stories with no ending. I'm taking you.
We might have something in common then, me and Gordy.
Okay. Hey,
but you tell the truth, I'd imagine.
Folks, we're talking to Perth Bears General Manager David Sharpe. David, I'm just trying to piece a few things together here. So you went down youngster playing for the Raiders, and then you spoke about you now work with Mal, and you've got the police force background. Is there a tie into Wayne Bennett also from back in those days?
No, not really, mate.
No?
No, when I was there, Wayne had moved on. She was the head coach at the time when I come over to the juniors. So I had Sheensy, and when I went back, it was... Mal was when I was coaching with Wayne Collins, the reserve grade. Mal was there as the head coach.
David, we know Mal's going to be the coach, and Benny Gardner is going to be an assistant. Is all the staff roles been filled yet, like trainers and physios and stuff, or is that to come?
No, it's pretty raw at the moment, mate. In fact, we're working off plastic trestle tables over there in Perth at the moment. So it's we're building the plane while we're flying it.
Right.
Chasing players while we build the back office as well. But small group of us getting that done. We're moving to our corporate offices after Christmas, and then the WAC is going to be developed into a centre of excellence for us. So
good.
We don't get much more iconic in Perth.
He loves trestle tables, Brian. Zac Lomax loves trestle tables. He's over there at the moment touring the Western Force facilities. David, is there a chance he could be there for 1 year at the Western Force? Will you be having a conversation with Zac Lomax and his party?
I think we'll just follow the media and see where Zac lands, because every given day they know the story and what we're doing. So Zac's over there. We had Zac in the Australian team. Fantastic guy, and be stupid to rule out Zac in any way coming to us. But yet to see where he lands over there. But it'd be good to have him in Perth.
So David, will you sign? Is it going to be a top 30, or do you get to sign more players? I know the NRL, they basically own the Bears, don't they, or a percentage of them. Do you guys get any sort of dispensation with the salary cap, or are you allowed to have more players in your top squad?
No, we have 30, and we'll do 6 development players as well.
Yeah.
Lot of media out there that we're asking for dispensations, and very controversial at the moment, but we're certainly not doing that. We're doing it our way. Perth's a great place, and there's a lot of support over there, and all we're really looking at doing is looking at how we work within the NRL salary cap and look at the term reasonable as far as relocation and the like. But no, we want to do it our way, and we'll do it on our own.
I was talking to Tom Papley from the Swans, and I was asking him about the Perth team, so Fremantle and the Eagles, right? And I was asking, do they get any favours? He said no. He said, but what they do have, and this is a consideration for you guys, I'm sure you're already gone down the path with, they've got to deal with Virgin. So every player, Tom Papley said, whilst they are on a commercial plane, so therefore not everyone could sit in business, but they take turns with that, or the best players get that, or whatever the case may be. But every player has their own row, so they can at least lie down. Is there things like that, David, that the NRL needs to consider, or are they considering?
Yeah, it's something we've definitely considered. We're looking at that, the distance, the flights to the East Coast and return, looking at what flights might look like, whether charter flights are an option. So all of those things, we've been working with West Coast Eagles to look at how they do it. They do things like give their players or families flights as part of their packages. But the other thing we're looking at doing, because of the tie to North Sydney Bears, we're looking at having an East Coast hub there and a hub at the Brisbane Tigers. And when we're there, we will invite the East Coast families in to spend time with the team.
Okay, so just with that then, naturally, would there be conversations with the NRL? So if you are in the hub in southeast Queensland, could you play the Broncos followed by the Dolphins or followed by the Gold Coast, and then equally
blocks of games?
Yeah, blocks of games. So if you go to Sydney, you play Canterbury, then you play whomever. Is that something that the NRL would be keen? Currently, the draw's done with AI. Is that something they would help you with?
Yeah, we're in discussions at the moment with the NRL about those sorts of things around scheduling. Everything so far has been very positive, so we're hoping we'll get some opportunities there where we may have back-to-back games in Sydney and be based there, so that whole East Coast family group can come and stay within the complex that we'll be in, have meals with us and be a part of us. So really like having 2-3 home games.
Yeah.
David, are we close to signing a marquee player? Without you diving or divulging who, could be some exciting news for Perth Bears fans?
There's some great news. We've had the 4 signed announced this week, but we're doing that our way. We're respecting confidentiality with players who are signing and have clubs and they want to tell their teammates, some of whom aren't even back at training yet. So we're sort of doing the way we're doing it. We've had 4 this week. We'll have another profile player in the coming days. Just because we're not announcing doesn't mean we're not signing.
Yes.
So the next couple of weeks you'll see some exciting announcements from us, all going well. But, we also we're looking at depth, youth, experience, looking at how the Dolphins did it, building their roster through depth, looking how Melbourne set up around, the family community when that all kicked off. So a lot of lessons out there and a lot of things for us to learn as we sort of write each chapter of a new book.
What about the juniors over there? Have you got a strong sort of junior league over there? Because I remember Billy Moore saying they've it's actually quite surprising how many people play rugby league over there.
Yeah, there's about 4,000 from what I understand. We've had a bit to do with them already in the NRL WA, who've done a great job. And in fact, this year they just announced going from 6 to 10 senior sides already. So before we even kick a footy off. But we got some exciting news will be announced shortly around Pathways Development and an academy over there. We realise there's some great talent there in both male and female talent, boys and girls. Yeah. So we know that, it takes about 3 to 5 years to build that youth and build that talent into quality, for the elite pathways. So we're starting that as early as January, February next year.
David Sharpe, the General Manager of Football for the Perth Bears. So you mentioned the 4,000 number, David, which sounds good, right? But most of our listeners won't know the context of that. Is there a club currently that they have a similar amount of juniors as what the Perth Bears currently have? And clearly going to grow upon that once the Perth Bears get cracking. But is there a club that we know right now would have a similar catchment to what the Perth Bears are going to start with?
Well, not really, because we're very fortunate. We've got a whole state. And the big thing about Perth is that they're not so focused on a particular sport. They just love all sport.
Yep.
So we've been embraced. We're looking at the AFL competitions. We're looking at the rugby competitions, the basketball, and all our development programs are going to focus on sport and athleticism, and see what comes out of there. There's some great talent. And we're pretty excited about what we can build over the next 3 to 5 years over there.
When do we have to come up with the full squad? Is there any rules on that? Like, I know a year out you can leave. You've got to have a majority of your top 30 signed. Is there any rules around that, David?
Yeah, we're looking for that 1st of November next year to have around the 26 on the books.
Yep.
And then obviously we flow through into just games in March. And one of the big considerations for us is we've got the World Cup next year. And so we won't even see a lot of players through till January at this stage in our squad. So,
yeah, right.
It's a challenge for us, and we're sort of getting ready for that challenge and how we engage the players leading up to our first sort of training.
Oh, so you think there might be a few internationals?
He's going to be signing a few big guns,
few
Ryan.
internationals, David. I'm just trying to. I'm just doing my mathy. I'm like.
You're not the only detective, David.
That's right. I've got my red string out here, like True Detective, and I'm just linking things.
All I'm saying is you've just seen we've signed Harry Newman from the UK. So I haven't said anything else. But,
no.
I mean, if we believe the media, we've had 10 first signings now. So we're going all right.
Yeah. Well, Wishart's been linked to the club. So too. Liam Henry's been linked to the club. And they're also linking, David, they're linking South Africa as an option, right? Would you say in your initial 30-man squad, is it more likely to have a current South African rugby player or more likely not to have one?
Oh, look, we're yet to see, but certainly South Africa, I can confirm, is a priority catchment area for us, big South African community in Perth. And we are engaged in South Africa and particularly in the very strong union schools over there.
Okay, so and for those who don't know, how far is the sojourn Perth to say Joburg?
10.
Sorry, say that again.
How far is the sojourn from Perth to South Africa?
Well, I haven't worked out the exact hours yet. I'm still working on 3 hours to Bali at the moment, so that's the positive thing.
Okay.
Weekends off are going to be great.
Yeah, we know someone over in Bali at the moment, don't we, Brian?
11 hours. 11 hours. What about sponsors? And so I know you signed your major sponsor is Budget Direct, is it? Is that the?
No, they're not a major sponsor.
They're not a major sponsor.
They're a sleeve sponsor. Was a record deal for a sleeve in the NRL. We just signed a record deal for the shorts with Gage Roads Brewery, which could be attractive for a lot of players.
Yeah.
And we're about to announce, and I won't jump the gun, or the CEO will have a conniption, but we're about to announce a record for a major sponsor.
Okay, so they're all getting around. What's the feedback like at the public over there? Because I know we know it's an AFL state, but although we have had the Western Reds back in the day, what's the feeling like amongst the local population?
Oh, it's incredible. Everywhere we go, I've been over there about 8 weeks living now, just inundated with people that want to assist, that are interested. The regions are interested out in the bush. But you turn up there with Mal, and it's just it's like going to Queensland with Mal. He just gets mobbed everywhere he goes, and everyone's excited about what the future is. It's, as I said, it's about sport over there, not so much a particular sport.
David, I want to go back to this now. I've had enough talking rugby league. What was the law enforcement advisor? What did you have to do for the Vietnamese government and Laos government? What was all that about?
Yeah, it was just about building capacity with those countries. Back in the day when I went over there, 2003, we had a big heroin trade in Australia, and that was one of the central areas where the heroin come through. So I was working with the Vietnamese to try and stop that heroin trade, but also building programs around leadership and, for future leaders of law enforcement. And in fact, just was over there last week for the 20th anniversary of a program I set up, which is now 1,200 people in 44 countries that trains the next wave of police commissioners across Southeast Asia.
General Manager of the Perth Bears, David Sharpe. Who's your favourite Bear of all time?
Oh, Billy Moore.
Billy Moore.
Oh,
What do you call him, Brian?
William Less.
William Less.
Mark Graham, he'd be hard to beat. I used to love watching Mark Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Billy's got all the stories.
Yeah, he does. Some of them are true, too. Some of them are. Where are you living over there, by the way? David Cottesloe, are you going to live on the beach?
I'd like to, but unfortunately, they're not paying me enough for that. So I'm in Applecross. I've just got a little bit further to get to training.
Right.
Well, David, the good news is the listeners have loved having you on. The bad news for you is that, mate, we're going to be asking you to come back. So
Yes.
have a great Christmas, mate. It's a busy one for you. And congratulations on the appointment as the Perth Bears General Manager. David Sharpe, thanks for joining the Run Home with Joel and Fletch. All the best over the next 12 months, and we can't wait to chat another time.
Thanks, gents. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
David.
good debut on the Run Home, Brian.
Wonder what? We could have
Very
him
good.
for True. I should have asked him. We could have him True Crime Tuesday as well.
We could.
He could wear two hats.
Two hats.
David, two hats. Like he could come on there and talk a bit.
Yeah, I know.
He was also CEO of Asada
Yeah,
for 4 years.
correct. You're not going to get away with too much there, boys.
No, he'll know. He'll play him off a break.
He'll play them for break. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.